Okay, these are my notes. Alright. Okay. Hello, my name is Mallie Gardner, and I'm sitting here with Miss Brenda Toot, who is a preschool teacher at Breckenridge R1 School. Today we are going to go over how teaching changed your life, the attributes that set you apart from other teachers, the supplies you have to acquire for the upcoming school year, communications in the classroom, and finally, how teaching has changed your life. Are you ready to begin?
Yes.
Okay. According to relisteneducator.com, takes so much preparation for the school year. How much would you say of your time that it takes to prepare for the school year?
Pretty much all summer.
Yeah. Yep. A very long time.
Yes.
What is one of your most favorite memories from teaching, like any of the years?
I don't know. I mean, I like it. I mean, like, just being with teaching the kids, you know, like,
Yes.
every class is different.
Mm-hmm.
So, just the memory of the kids succeeding. Because
Mm-hmm.
working in with littles, you know, they have that aha moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, whenever
Yes.
they, that's my favorite part,
When
I would
it
say.
clicked.
You know
Yes.
the thing. You know, like, you as a high school student, you don't have those as
Yes.
much. But in preschool and even kindergarten, you know, like when they learn that letter or learn that number, they're like, I got it.
Yeah,
like they're
it's
excited
exciting.
about it. So
Yes.
those are my favorite memories.
Going off that question, how long have you taught?
This is my 18th year in teaching.
Yes, and she was my teacher, so that's pretty exciting. In my research, I've learned in a website, advice for preschool teachers, that you have to keep a positive attitude. Is it hard to keep a positive attitude on your off days, like when you're not feeling the most positive?
To an extent it is, but
Yeah.
you got to remember, little kids are funny. You know,
Yeah.
like even when you shouldn't laugh at is a situation you shouldn't laugh at, you've got to like turn your head or
Yes.
spread your tongue. But we all have those days. So
Yes.
yeah, it is sometimes hard. I mean, especially if there's a lot of negativeness in the building,
Mm-hmm.
you know, being a pre-K through 12th grade, you know, we're around a lot of people. So,
Yes.
you know, it sometimes it is hard, but you always try to keep the positive. So
Yes. Okay, going off that, when a child is like mentally, like not as far advanced as the other students in the class, what are like some teaching ways or skills that you can kind of push them up to be on the same level? Like, do you work with them separately at different times, or how do you do that?
all the above.
All the above.
With technology nowadays, sometimes like we are one-to-one with technology.
Yes.
So pre-K through second grade have iPads.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can put them on like games. Like we have what's called Square Panda, and it's where they can work with the, let's just say letters, because that's a big thing, and the foundation of education. So they can work with the letters and numbers, but they think it's a game.
Oh, yeah.
But
So
technically
it's
it's not. That is, and one-on-one, and
Yes.
we are a small school, so
Yes.
you know, like I have 3 preschoolers this
Yes.
year, so it's pretty easy. But I can still pull them one-on-one and try to do
Yeah.
things.
So is that Panda thing, is it like a tablet, or is it like you were talking about your Panda?
It is. It's on the iPad. Like it's put on the iPad, but it is a we have to pay for it. So it's a program.
Oh, gotcha.
And then it has different games. Like one time they can do like space things or whatever, but you have to have it, and you have to have, it comes with like a little little thing that has letters, like numbers, and I can't even think of what it's called at the moment, but a little tray type thing and it can tell if you have the right letter or the wrong letter,
So
and it lets them know. Yeah, it censors them, so they have a certain way to put them in.
That's cool.
So yeah.
That's awesome. I've never heard of that before.
We started it a couple of years ago. So
well, going off that, how long you've been here for 18 years, or taught for 18 years? How much has the curriculum changed? Has it changed any?
Yes, it's changed a lot. I have a new one this year. That's why I'm laughing.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, it just depends. Some of the years though, I've been able to do what I want to do. You know, like
Yeah.
my biggest thing has been ABC boot camp.
Mhm.
Teaching preschool and kindergarten in previous years has been, you know, I've had to do things different and
Yes.
stuff. Now this year I'm doing a whole new program and didn't get it until within the year. So that's why I was laughing, because
Yeah.
I don't feel settled this year
Yes.
because I got it so late and I feel like I'm behind, and
Yeah.
you know, I'll get there, but it's just,
So it's changed a lot.
yes.
Would you say like every year it changes?
No, but about every 3-4 years, it usually
Gotcha.
is something different.
Yes. And for my next question, my experience as a student assistant in preschool classrooms, I've noticed that there's different like aspects. Like some children they have different needs for like touch.
Mhm.
Some students want one-on-one. Some students want no touch at all.
Mhm.
Is that hard to like learn with each child?
No, within the first week or 2 weeks, you
Yeah.
usually know which kids, you know, like you can
Yes.
do that with and stuff. And it's, you know, I consider it their love language. You know, like
Mhm.
we all have our different ways. You know, not all of us are touchy feely people,
Yes.
or I'm the opposite. I like to hug. I'm
Yes.
like, you know, or whatever. But you just kind of go off with them. But you know, within the first week or two, that how they are, you know,
Yes.
how you can interact with them.
Mhm.
So.
If you have a child in the classroom that's going through some sort of trauma or like having a traumatizing experience, is there different ways that you consult them, or like do they have a counselor come in or talk to them, or what's the steps to that?
If I know it, and I usually let the counselor know something, just so that we can kind of watch.
Yeah.
But you try to take care of it in the class, because one, you don't want to take them out,
Yes.
because they're going to think littles think they're in trouble if they have to go see.
Yes.
And especially here that our principal counselor is the same position, so
Yes.
they think they're in trouble. But sometimes they have to just do that. But
Mm-hmm.
once again, you read the kid.
Yes.
Each kid's different, and you can, you know, some people, you know, just like adults are, you know, some people can handle this and that. It just, little kids are the same. You just have to do it a little
Yes.
on a lower level, you know,
Mhm.
kind of thing. So,
Going off their needs, do you have to provide any supplies like throughout the year, or do you like know at the beginning of the year these are the supplies that I'm gonna get, and maybe get some more throughout the year? Or
some preschools do that, you know,
Mhm.
like where they buy all the supplies for the kids.
yes.
I don't, because our students go to specials with kindergarten.
Mhm.
So they bring their own box. So they do supplies. But as a teacher, you're always going to add, you need to
Yeah.
add some more, you know, the glue sticks. I think they eat them. No, not really. But they use those glue sticks, you know, really a thing. But, you know, so you have to supply some. And then there's
Yes.
times that I'll buy paint, you know, like
Mhm.
it just takes a long time to go through the office to do things. It's just easier to think. For Grandparents' Day, we made what we called their thumbprint, you know, because somebody loves you, you
Yes.
know, kind of thing for Grandparents' Day. So I bought all the supplies. I either had it at home or I bought it, you know,
Yeah.
I didn't go through them. So you do have to buy some supplies, but I don't plan like you kind of know how your year's going. I didn't this year because it's new curriculum, but normally I do, but I change my activities throughout the year because teaching 2 classes together, I couldn't do the same thing every year.
Yeah.
Now that I'm just doing preschool, it'll be a little bit different, but
Mhm. Do you think that the technology has made it easier or harder to incorporate now that we're using technology so much?
I think it's enhanced because, like I said earlier, you know, you could, I can set this kid on there working on alphabet or numbers or, you know, whatever, wherever their
Yes.
level's at. But this kid is more advanced to where he
Mhm.
needs to do words or, you know,
Yes.
like things. So in that aspect, and it gives me time to pull and work with one-on-one with each kid, you know, and stuff. So I think technology I think because of gaming and stuff at home, they all think once they get an iPad, they
Yes.
should be able to watch movies and play. So you run through that a little bit. But as for the most part, I think technology is enhanced and stuff. So
it makes it a lot easier
Yeah.
in some ways.
yeah.
Another question: how do you feel teaching has changed your life?
It's taught me patience.
Like, have you always wanted to be a teacher?
Oh no.
No?
If you'd asked me in high school, so many years ago, I would have said no.
Yeah.
What made me decide to be a teacher was one of my older daughters
Mm-hmm.
was in 5th grade with a 2nd grade reading level. And she just kept being shoved through and shoved through and shoved through because she had an IEP, and I was, as a mom, I was mad.
Yes.
And then it got to the point that I was ready to go back into the workforce and not be a stay-at-home mom, and I decided I wanted to work with kids.
Yeah.
And if I lived in the city, I probably would have went into nursing to work at Children's Mercy just because of what they did for my son.
Mm-hmm.
But because where we live in a rural, thing, teaching was the thing, so I went in there. And I love it. I mean, it just,
Yes.
I don't regret my decision at all.
So what did you want to do prior?
When I graduated high school, I wanted to be a photographer,
Oh, yeah.
but,
Now you're working with kids.
well, yeah, but I wanted to be a freelance photographer, like
Yes.
go and travel and do that. Well, when you have a kid, you can't do that. So, things. And I got married and was a stay-at-home. I was a farm wife and stay-at-home mom. So, but before that, I wanted to be a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I seen how much schooling I had to be, I was like, nope.
So, our school, Breckenridge, is very small compared to others. Do you like that better, or would you like having a bigger class?
I like teaching here just because I can work with the littles, my class, but I also get to know all of you guys. Like
Yes.
being here 18 years,
Yes.
I've got to see everybody grow up. I work with kids, the
Yes.
high schoolers just as much. I feel like it's more of a family-oriented kind of place. So, I mean, I like that aspect of it.
Yeah.
There are times I'm thinking, man, if I just had more kids, I could do this project,
Yeah.
do those activities. So there's pros and cons on both, but, I feel like I like the family atmosphere. Family is very important to me, and Breckenridge has become my family. So you all are my kids, no matter what.
We're all just grown-up kids.
There you go.
Did you student teach somewhere, like go
I
to college?
I went to college through Graceland University, but did in Trenton at NCMC. But I did my reading practicum at Southwest.
Oh, really?
So I did that for a month, I think is what it was. It's 4 weeks. And then I did my student teaching at Tictina.
Oh,
At
so
Lawrence
it
School.
wasn't much bigger.
No. I did that because of babysitting issues with my kids. You
Gotcha.
got to go where the babysitter's at.
Yes.
And so it was there. And so, no, I did my student teaching in smaller schools. So.
Awesome. Well, do you have any questions for me?
What makes you want to become a teacher?
I think I want to become a teacher because honestly, I helped coach the elementary kids last year, and I think working with kids and, like you said, having that aha moment with them and helping them get there was so rewarding that, like, if you weigh out the pay and everything else, it's honestly, I think it's such a good career because you can change lives.
Yeah.
So I think it's so rewarding.
Yes.
Well, I think that's all we have to cover today, and thank you for joining me.
You're welcome.
And this concludes our interview.